From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth. I am Tom McManus. We are at Tommy Mac's Bar here on Buzz TV. Hope you had a great week out there. Jacksonville, working hard, playing hard, enjoying great music. Football season upon us. Your hometown team going up to the Giants this weekend to take on the G-Men. Should be a great outing. Florida won. Miami got the crap kicked out of them. Florida State, oh man, you better take that dagger right out of the belly. Hopefully get better next time around. We've got a great show lined up for you this week. J.P. Shadrick joins us today, senior reporter. He's part of the radio broadcast team for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Looking forward to talking ball with him. And of course, Andre Lepar. He's a race director from the Ironman. Wait to hear that story. Great stuff all headed your way right here on this week's edition of The Horse's Mouth. Proud to introduce my title sponsor for The Horse's Mouth. It's Ewing Real Estate, a great group of people who can help you with any commercial real estate project out there. Whether you're developing land, you're building an office or an apartment complex, or you need some help with financing, we can assist you. Give us a call at 354-5573 or visit us online at allenewing.com. All right, as promised, J.P. Shadrick, senior reporter and broadcaster, radio broadcaster of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Join him in here at Tommy Mac's. JP, great to have you, brother.
Good to see you, man.
Hey,
Thanks
great
for
to
having
see
me.
you in the past, I don't know what, 48 hours, right?
Cheers.
2 and 48 hours.
I know.
Cheers.
There's never too much of Tom McManus, man. This is
man.
awesome. Good to see you again.
Good
Cheers.
to see you as well. We just saw each other at the awesome show, the farewell tour of Leonard Skinner. What a lineup. Kid Rock, Aldean, Charlie Daniels, the list goes on. And here you are in the center of it all, JP, doing all the announcements right there on that big stage. Must have been a pretty cool experience.
I got to break out my Muscle Shoals Sound T-shirt. I don't get
right.
to wear that in public too often. It was really cool, and you know I've worked in sports for a long time, my whole career actually, and music is kind of my side. I love it. It gets me away from it or whatever. So having those combined at the stadium the other day and being able to introduce the acts and talk about Budweiser and Swisher cigars and all, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, I couldn't ask for a better day.
All right, before we go to break, the impact of losing Marquise Lee to that knee injury. What's it do to the team?
I don't think it's something they can't overcome. I think they can do that.
Yep.
But unfortunate because he was the veteran guy in that room, a guy who'd been through some battles early in his career with health and found a way to stay on the field the last 2 years and was going to be a big part of this offense. But when it happened, when it did, they had a couple weeks to kind of figure some things out on the roster, and they have guys who've been around. Last year when A-Rob went down, Allen Robinson, they had 3 rookies on the field at once.
That's right. Yep.
Well, those guys are a year older now, and that'll help everything kind of calm down. But I hate it for Marquise because he's such a great guy.
Great guy, great competitor. And I tell you this, and I'm not saying this because he's my former teammate, but having Keenan McCardell as your coach can make sure, can kind of give everybody just a sense of, hey, everything's going to be okay with him, running the helm of the wide receiver group.
No doubt, and that's why you don't really need a true bold leader in the locker room, per se, on the wide receiver staff, because you got Keenan, a guy who came out like a 12th round pick, worked his way up, has a fantastic career, and he knows how to bring a guy like that along, and that's what this wide receiver room is.
All right, great stuff. Hang in there, buddy. More coming your way with J.P. Shadrick right here at Tommy Mac's on Buzz TV. The Horse's Mouth also brought to you by Stellar. Taking solutions further. Check them out online at stellar.net. All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here at Tommy Mac's Bar. J.P. Shadrick is here.
I got a question
Jags.
for you. I got a question for you. Who's the horse? Are you the horse? Am I the horse?
You're the horse.
Why am I the horse?
Well, because you're inside, man. You're the guy that knows it all inside that stadium. So we're going with you. Actually, you know what? Sometimes I'm the horse.
Okay.
Sometimes you're the horse. How about that?
Why the long face?
2 horses can get along, man. That's right. 2 horses can get along. All right. What a great start to the season. The Jags go up to the Giants to play their opener on the road, and then you got New England Patriots.
Oh, those guys
at home. Holy cow! Talk about going to the Giants. Look, the Giants had a bad year last year. Looks like they've regrouped, rebounded a little bit. You know they're going to test this Jag defense running the football.
Oh, yeah.
To me, JP, I think that may be their only chance to do something against this defense. If they get the run game going, they got a chance. I've talked this whole preseason that run defense needs to tighten up a bit. Of course, haven't had all the starters in there all the time. We'll see that this Sunday, but I tell you what, man, they got to stop the run, and hopefully they can do that against the young running game of the New York Giants.
Well, you saw it towards the end of last season after the trade for Marcel Darius. The run defense just improved overnight. I mean, he's big, strong dude in the middle, can take up two guys, and that changed everything for this Jaguars defense. Now, is his pectoral injury fully healed? Is it something he's going to be working with throughout the year? I think it might be a little nagging thing, so you just got to kind of deal with that. Right. The unknown is Saquon Barkley. Yeah. You know what he is because of the college tape, and he's the second overall draft pick, but he only played like 2 or 3 snaps in the preseason.
I know.
One of them was a 39-yard run on his first touch in the NFL. Now you have an idea of what he can be, but you haven't seen that. So you're watching tape from Penn State. You're watching what you can of the preseason, and just maybe laying back a minute and, see what they do with him and then respond during the game to that. Of course, Odell Beckham, Jalen Ramsey on the outside. Great matchup. It's
going to be fun.
Love that stuff. Eli's back in his rightful place. Eli Manning starting for the Giants. He was pulled out of the lineup last year.
That's right.
Inexplicably after the second longest starting streak in league history. So he's back. New coach, new GM. And, I don't know about their defense, so that's the question mark for the Giants. They were towards the end of the league, last end of the league in total defense last year. Do they have the pieces? So, I think this defense can match them on offense.
Well, I think they can match pretty much anybody.
That's a good point.
I would think. What about now? Dante Fowler's not playing.
He's not.
McCray gets the start, I presume. We don't know just yet, but looks like he would be the next man up.
Well, so it'll be Ngakoue at the rush end and all the tackles, and then Calais Campbell. And then you'll see Lorente McCray come in, I think, as a rush end.
Okay.
That would be my guess on that.
He can rush the passer, JP.
It's funny because he's the special teams captain, so he's a core 4 guy, and he can play defensive end. In a pinch, he could play strong side linebacker if he needed to.
I agree.
So the more you can do, he's a veteran who's been in the league for, 6 years, 7 years now. Has a Super Bowl ring in Denver, and he does everything for you. He's an all-around handyman for this Jaguars defense. And I think, this week especially, he might have a role as a rusher. And he's had a role last year as a rusher at times for this defense when they rolled guys in there.
Are they going to miss Fowler?
Oh, I don't know how you can't miss him. I mean, he's a fantastic player. I mean, he's one of the dynamic athletes, not only in this team, but at almost any team in the league. He was a top 3 pick, for goodness sake. So, I mean, the guy is a fantastic athlete. So you always want that guy available.
Sure.
He's going to have 1 week to think about it, and he'll come back week 2, I think, ready to go. Because when his switch is on, he's a different level of player now. So they will miss him, but they have some other guys that are ready to roll. They've had a few months to think about it too.
No question about it. How about you mentioned Odell Beckham and Jalen Ramsey going at it? What a show. I can't wait for you. Want to get your popcorn ready. I know that's cliche, but that's one. I may just watch them the whole entire game.
They should have an ISO camera on them all game long.
No doubt.
With CBS doing the game. I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
Yeah. Because
it is entertainment all day. And it's been entertainment on social media and in interviews already from Jalen's point of view. I mean, his first interview at training camp, somebody asked him about week 1.
Yeah.
Say, well, we just started training camp, but let me get this out of the way right now. And it did the whole thing.
Right.
So Jalen's going to have stuff to say as the week leading up to the game. I don't know how much Odell's going to talk. He'll let his money do the talk, and he just got paid, So this is a great challenge for Jalen. You're facing one of the premier receivers in the league who just got a huge contract. You've been in the media already, the GQ and the ESPN
Although
magazine.
we talk good about Odell, so maybe Odell's not that mad of him.
But now roll it out week 1 and go play and see if you can shut him down.
All right, so how many catches do you think Odell? I mean, he's one of the
he'll get some.
He'll get some. You think he gets a touchdown?
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but I think Jalen will get his too now.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's hard to shut a guy like that all the way down.
Wait, no, when you talk all the time, you got to shut everybody down, JP.
I get it.
You can't give up a reception all year, man.
Antonio Brown did pretty well against the Jags. And Jalen talks very highly of him.
Of course,
Hopkins down in Houston had some, but then Jalen got his too against both of those guys. So the really elite receivers don't really get shut out. You know, they're going to get some. and it's the role players around.
No doubt.
It's like the old Bulls, right?
That's right.
Jordan's going to get his. Don't let the role players beat you.
That's right. Good point. Good point. It's going to be a great matchup. People are probably not going to be happy with me saying this and call me crazy, but I feel like this team needs a loss to start the year.
I think you're crazy. They don't need no.
They're a little cocky for my taste. They're great, JP. I love them. I think they're going to be great, but I think a loss could do really well.
Can we put the loss later down the road?
Like
because
when?
you can't afford week
Why?
one.
No, you'd rather have it
No,
week one.
because you're staring number 12 Tom Brady in the face
Which
week
makes
2.
you even more want to get a win in front of the hometown
So
crowd.
you don't think they want that already?
Oh, I
they
think
got
they
beat
do.
last year.
I just think they need a little knockdown. I don't like all the talk. It's not just Jalen either. I've heard 16-0 this offseason. I've heard Super Bowl. I've heard we're the greatest whatever, which, okay, fine. I think on paper they are. But to me, a little knockback can make them even hungrier and more, determined to do even better on the field.
Yeah, I'll push the loss at least
you
on
work
my
for the
counter.
team.
I'm just saying. I'd rather be 1-0 facing the Patriots than 0-1 facing 0-2 and then a tough third game. I mean, I'll take the loss later. Fine.
Okay, you're going win.
You got to win. I think you got to win week 1.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're staring the Patriots down. You never know what's going to happen in that game because they're the New England Patriots. I know they're coming here.
It's a long season, though, JP.
0-2 is not a good look.
Yeah.
So, not that they can't beat them. They can go beat any team on the schedule this year. But
I agree with that.
You'd rather win that first game. So I'll postpone the loss.
I'll say that. You don't say. You say win. I say I hope they win, but a loss, I'm not going to be that excited.
It didn't sound like you hoped they won.
Yeah.
Tom. I mean, you were like,
I wouldn't
they were
say that.
Win.
I'm just trying to be, look, I think this, not that I hope, this team to me is just a little too much talking. I'm not a big talking.
Well, they talk, but you know what? That's the thing. Like, they talked a lot last year, too.
Yeah.
They went and backed it up on the field, and then they talked about it again after.
JP, Pittsburgh
Swagger,
rolled
man.
them. New England, second half, rolled them a little bit. Yeah. San Fran picked them apart pretty darn
late in the year, but
so,
they did.
I mean,
Telvin was out of that game. Yeah.
Okay, but, you're only as good as your last
They showed
outing.
back up in the playoffs, didn't they? Shut down Buffalo. You go to Pittsburgh. Let's go.
They didn't shut down Pittsburgh. They put up 38 on you.
In the second half.
So what? It's a 16.
They won the game.
Yeah. What about this? What about New England? Second half, they got worked.
Third and 18.
I'm just saying. They still gave up 2 touchdowns.
True.
To Julian Edelman. No, Danny Amendola.
Yeah,
It was Amendola, right?
Not good, Coach.
All right. Hang in there. You got to win.
Thanks.
I hope for a win, but we'll see what happens.
Let's go win them. Let's go win them all.
Win them all.
Who says you can't win them all?
19-0.
Let's go.
All right. I'm with you. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
You pulled me in.
Undefeated.
You pulled me in.
Let's go, Tommy.
All right. More with JP Shadrick right here at Tommy Max on the Horse's Mouth.
This is a Clydesdale. Despite what you see in the commercials, he doesn't play football. He won't bring me a cold one, as much as I wish he would. He does not fall easily in love with his kitty cat pals, of which he has none. He's just really good at being a horse on this ranch. I run with help from my banker at Synovus, Bank of Here. Really, Bruce?
All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth at Tommy Max on Buzz TV. JP Shadrick is here from the Jags. Andre Lepar is here as well. He's an Ironman race director joining us here at the bar. Andre, how are you, my friend?
Good to see you,
Thanks for
Tom.
joining
Thanks for
us.
having me
We really appreciate it.
What's up?
Hey, JP and I obviously aren't Ironmen, but you are.
Speak for yourself, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you are, Andre. How many Ironmans have you performed or competed in?
Me, only one. As I mentioned before we came on air, the quickest way to get out of doing sports is to start working in sports. And I've been working in sports now for 14 years now with Ironman, directing races all over the place, focused on South America. So I don't get to race or run quite as much as I used to, but that's okay.
Wow, that's unbelievable. I just can't even imagine. I've seen my wife train for a marathon, but throwing swimming and biking, and then a full marathon, JP. That's bad to the bone.
I'm exhausted just talking about it right now. That's just a lot to comprehend mentally. I mean, it's the physical aspect is one thing, but the mental capacity to be able to push beyond your expectations is the biggest challenge, at least for me, right?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely a sight to behold, to see the athletes coming across the finish line. The beautiful thing about the sport of Ironman is you have professional athletes, Olympians, all race on the same course, the same day as the amateurs. So you have people racing for, $500,000 in prize money with a 75-year-old man who's just hoping to cross the finish line before midnight, and they're all on the same playing field, which is a really unique thing in all of sports.
Yeah, that's incredible. Now, were you an athlete growing up? Did you play
very
sports
young? No, I played the tuba. That's
Did
not
you
really an
really?
athlete.
No kidding.
No, that's okay.
Listen, a friend of mine's daughter's in the band.
Was
that
it
tuba's
marching
no
band?
joke.
It was. I marched
that tuba's
around.
no joke,
Yeah,
man.
you got to roll your feet. You got to do all that.
Yeah. What was the? There was. I just learned this. Seriously, you're laughing. I just learned it. There's one kind of tuba, and then there's the other one that you got to hold up yourself. That's really heavy.
There's a regular tuba, then there's a sousaphone
Sousaphone
that
that
goes
they
around.
wrap
in.
Yeah.
Which
I had
one are you?
The tuba. I had to hold it.
Wow.
Oh yeah, strong arms.
That's where you got those
Strong
big shoulders,
arms. Come on
brother.
now.
All right, so you've been in sports. Obviously. What does sports do for you? Why don't you cover it, right? I always believe sports is like a lot like life, a lot like business. Everything you go through in sports, or even watching teams go through that in sports, it's kind of a similar thing. What does sports do for you in covering the great game of football?
Well, I mean, it brings a city together. I can tell you that.
No doubt.
I mean, when the team's good, when the team has a chance, it brings people from all walks of life together for one thing, and that's to see the football team win. And I get to cover that every day and report on the team and have people follow what we're doing, especially when they're winning. It's everybody from all neighborhoods in Jacksonville, all walks of life coming together. So for me, it's the community effort.
Uniter.
Yeah, it's what it is, and I love that part of it.
Yeah. How about you, Andre? You've been in sports yourself and competing, and now you run these great events all throughout South America. What's it do for you?
No, sports it's a great cornerstone for life, I think. I mean, it's to establish goals and have things to work for. And the cool thing about sports is there's a deadline, and it comes whether you're ready for it or not. So we look at that from the event production side, and whether you're organizing a race for people or you're preparing for opening day, that deadline is coming whether you are ready or not. There's no, hey, I need to push it back by a week. So
that's right.
You got to really just be organized and focused and, put your nose to the grindstone.
Well, and like you just said, you got to persevere. I mean, you just mentioned when you're I can't imagine doing the Ironman. You're in the marathon part. You're absolutely dying. You got a cramp in your left leg. Yeah. You can't breathe. The heat's over. What do you got to do? You got to suck it up and finish, JP.
That's it. I mean, you can't stop.
Right.
I mean, you could, but then you would leave your goal out there still.
That's right.
So either you're going to push through or you're not. And what kind of athlete are you going to be? Are you going to be one that stops midway, or are you going to try to do this whole thing?
I think the Jags are going to go 11-5 and win the South and be in the playoffs.
So last segment, you had them losing week 1.
What,
and
they
then
can't
coming
lose
back
5
week
games?
2, and then running the table?
Why can't this? What? Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, they're 12-3 in their last 15. You got a problem with that?
No, I would take that. I'll take that.
I'll take it too. It'd be great. It's not how you start, JP. It's how you
got to finish, get on a roll.
That's right. What do you think? What do you think they'll end up?
I think it's a tough schedule, first off, but I think this Jaguars team is better than they were a year ago. So I'm still, 10 wins is still an aggressive prediction for any football team. So I'm in the 9-10 wins, get in the tournament, whether you win the division or not, get in, get hot like they did last year, and then go finish.
They're the class of the AFC South, I think.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Right.
And maybe the AFC.
Maybe the AFC, yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get through New England. I mean, we're going to find week 2. Man, what a home opener.
Early, yeah.
Yeah, I think they tasted some success last year.
No doubt.
And I think that's going to keep some of them really hungry.
Yeah.
No doubt. And to see that logo come here to open the season at home, I mean, that's that's been the whole talk. Miles Jack wasn't down. They were that close, 5 minutes away, and they get to exercise some demons week 2, I guess.
No doubt.
I think if you're not at the stadium that day, all of Jacksonville will be glued to the TV. I don't think you're going to be getting anything done that day.
Oh, it'll be, I mean, look, this team gets on a run, forget about it. It'll be standing room only every single week, just like the Buffalo playoff game. That was like, we hadn't seen that in a long time. Tarps off, 72, 73,000, screaming fans going nuts. I brought my daughter, my father-in-law. I mean, it sat in the stands, which was awesome. Yeah. We haven't seen that for a long, long time. I think we'll get back to that if they get off to a good start.
I've been in Jacksonville 10 years, and I've seen the Jaguars through some ups and downs, and like you said, sports brings people together. And I mean, last season was unbelievable. Everybody's got their Jags gears out, the flags on the cars. I mean, it's really cool to see.
All right, as we wrap up, you got any predictions as far as Player of the Year, MVP? Coach
for the
of
Jags or for the NFL?
For the Jags. You got
in the
candidates?
league? I think Yannick Ngakoue
Defensive Player of the Year, maybe?
Yannick Ngakoue's got a chance.
Calais has always got a chance.
That's right. So if you think Ngakoue is going to have a year, well, think about 2 or 3 other guys in the defense could have just as good of a year maybe trump him because they've been there already. Like Calais Campbell almost won it last year. Jalen Ramsey is everywhere.
Yep.
If Yannick Ngakoue has a great year, he could get overshadowed by these guys. That's how good this group is.
Yeah, no doubt about it. JP, thanks for coming,
Good
brother.
to see you, man. Thank you.
Awesome to have you on the show. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers you guys.
Andre, cheers. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, more to come, including Up Close and Personal with Andre, coming up next year on The Horse's Mouth on Buzz TV.
What makes the Tom Bush Family Dealership so special?
It's because we treat our customers like family.
Tom Bush Mini has really treated me well. Anytime I have an issue, I always know that there's somebody there that's going to be able to handle it. Everybody remembers me, and I like that.
If you have a Mini, you are a part of a family and you hang together. We'll wash your car while we're at it.
They'll wash my car, and I just feel very comfortable.
We invite you to join our growing family.
Visit one of our 7 locations today and experience the Tom Bush difference.
All right, time now for Up Close and Personal here on The Horse's Mouth at Tommy Max on Buzz TV. Andre Lepar, he's a race director for Ironman all throughout South America and here in America. Great to have you on the show, man, again. Man, this sport has grown just tremendously over the past, 10, 15 years. I mean, it's been around a long time, but it just seems that I have former teammates that got into like the triathlon world and they just love it. They love that competition. I'm not one of those guys. I love competition with different forms, right? But they love competing in the Ironman. So it continues to grow, it looks like.
I mean, absolutely. We're Ironman celebrating our 40th anniversary this year.
Wow.
From that first race in Kona when 12 guys just did a little race on their own.
No kidding. Is that how that started out there?
Yeah, to those who don't know the story, actually Ironman started over a beer. There was a bunch of Army guys, Navy guys in a bar in Hawaii, and John Collins, who founded the first Ironman, said, you know what, guys, this debate about who's in better shape, the swimmers, the cyclists around Tour de France, the marathon runners, so why don't we just put them all together? We'll do the Waikiki Rough Water Swim, we'll do the Around the Island bike ride, then we'll run a 26.2 marathon. Wow. And whoever finishes first, we'll call him the Ironman. And to this day, 40 years later, we're still debating who are the best athletes, the swimmers, the cyclists, or the runners. And the whole crazy thing started over exactly like this, over a beer.
Isn't that cool? I never knew that. Wow.
Yeah, it's an Olympic sport now.
Yeah, I know.
Founded over a beer bet.
No kidding. Started with 12.
12 guys. That
and
first
now look
year.
at it. What's the most you've had in an event?
Our largest events range around 3,000. We cap them, for space for bike. I mean, that's a lot of bikes to have out on roads, obviously in a swim. And then now our Ironman 70.3 World Championship was just this last weekend in South Africa. That's a 2-day event, men on one day, women on another. We have over 5,000 athletes competing.
Wow. And how many events worldwide in a year for
we're knocking on around close to 200 events now worldwide. Between Ironman 70.3, yep. We're on every continent.
Wow.
Aside from Antarctica. We have multiple countries that have multiple events, obviously.
So you're race director for what, South America?
Yeah, so I manage some of our events down in South America. Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Costa Rica. We started our first event in Argentina and Panama. Just different growth down there, and it's been super interesting and really fun, and I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, what's that like? I mean, are they very accepting to the Ironman coming into town? Is it you gotta bend some fingers to get some things done? What do you got?
It all depends. Every market's different, and I know kind of where you come with that. It's different. A lot of like Colombia, they're the second biggest sport in Colombia is cycling. They are crazy for cycling, really? So. And for sometimes our events, when we come to these towns, it is like the Tour de France, because these small villages we may go through on the bike course, they don't ever have that. Now they have 2,000 cyclists going by their house on a Sunday afternoon. We give them something to do, and in the bigger cities, the markets we produce down there, I mean, we bring out 20, 30,000 spectators. So for the athletes, the foreigners that come in to race, it's like swim, bike, run, big show. I mean, they really feel like they're in their own little rock star world doing our races.
I one time was a guest at a half triathlon in Panama City back in the 90s. And I'll never forget this, and I still use this to this day. This 80-year-old man, he must have been about 80, coming across the finish line. And he comes through the line, he bypasses the water, he bypasses the Gatorade, and he goes right to the beer garbage can filled with beer. And so I was like, wow, that's really interesting. He went right to that. So I walked over to him. I said, sir, excuse me, you went right for a beer. He goes, best thing you can have post-workout. And it's true. It's true because I'll do these workouts in my garage, which are really high. You get tired, next thing you know, half a beer, boom, you're right back into it.
The body's like a sponge at that point after working out. It absorbs things super quickly, and half a beer, you're ready for your post-race recovery nap.
So what about during the race? Hey, boom.
Unfortunately, that is on one of the banned substance lists. That's against our rules, obviously. For safety, you don't want people out there on a bike having beers, when there's other people around.
Half a beer, then I can drink the whole thing. I think it should be on NFL sidelines. Call me crazy. I'm just saying, it bring guys back. It might be better than all the sugar in that and the Gatorade and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, we make a call to the commissioner, see if they can amend the rules a little bit.
Let's do it. We'll be trendsetters.
Like I said, our sport started on a beer bet. I think we start exporting our history, right? Absolutely.
That's right. That would work well. All right, when's your next event? What's coming up?
I'm actually flying to Chile in October for Ironman 70.3 down in Coquimbo, Chile.
Okay.
Which is a second-year event for us, and then doing a lot of the preparations for Ironman 70.3 Colombia, which is the first weekend in December.
Our director, Stavros, is going to hook you up with all his family down there, aren't you, Stavros?
I'm hoping.
Get him some home-cooked meals and stuff.
Home-cooked
meals.
Let's go. Maybe a few chilcanos. We'll see.
There you go. All right. Hey, thanks for joining me.
Great
stuff, man. Really, that's incredible. Over a beer, and first one was 12 guys.
Yep, that's small, and look where we are now.
All right, good stuff right here on Tommy Max. More to come on The Horse's Mouth right here on Buzz TV. Brought to you by All right, that'll do it for us here on The Horse's Mouth. I want to thank JP Shadrick for joining us. That was great stuff. And Andre Lepar, man, what a cool story about the Ironman. How it got started over a beer, 12 guys out in Hawaii. Just fantastic. They're all over the world. What a great, great story. Hey, I want to touch on something real quick as we wrap up. I was recently at the Great Country Music Festival here in town with Skinner headlining it. The security was phenomenal. We were up front, really had a great security. Police officers everywhere. The amount of disrespect that I saw people giving these officers is absurd. If you want to be respected out there, you better give some respect, okay? We got to have law and order. I'm sorry. It's going to always be there and always should be there. It would have chaos. Have some respect for these police officers, all right? Because whatever happens after that, that's really going to be up to you and how you handle the situation. Again, look, are there bad police officers? Yes, there are. But that's not the norm. Most of them are good people. So let's give them respect and let's make this just a better place, Jacksonville. We're better than that. So until next week, stay cool and be safe out there, Jacksonville. See you next time right here on The Horse's Mouth on Buzz TV.